So why are we interested in alternative fuels and commercial fueling applications? Well, there's two main reasons. The first is environmental factors and the desire to move to a lower carbon fuel sources. The second is really economics, so thinking about the total cost of ownership of a vehicle. Well, the environmental factors are very straightforward. Everybody wants to have a lower cost or lower carbon fuels, whereas the economics are straightforward, except for they're a lot harder to achieve. And that's based largely because the benefits are based on fuel price, which are susceptible to the fickle commodities market. So really there's 5 different alternatives in the commercial fueling space that I wanted to talk about. The first is electric vehicles, the second is hydrogen fuel cells, the third is liquefied petroleum gas or auto gas, the fourth being compressed natural gas, and the fifth liquefied natural gas. So when we look at the EVs, they are going to be a much more compelling option in the near term than I think many people expect. And that's due largely to the fact that they have a low cost of fuel, because it's essentially just the electricity cost. And they also have a very low cost of maintenance, so that that total cost of ownership is much lower than other alternatives as the battery technology improves. And really where we see the battery technology going is in the next 5 to 10 years, having a much longer range capacity than it does today, which will make it a growing and viable alternative for local and light-duty fleets. When we look at the hydrogen fuel cells, one of the things that we see is they really have a very small infrastructure and they're economically challenged. So we don't really see that as a very compelling option in the transportation space. It's going to be more of a niche application in commercial power alternatives, but not really in transportation. In all 3 of the alternative gas solutions, what we see is short-term price challenges. So the economics aren't as compelling in the short term because of where traditional gasoline and diesel prices are. Plus they have more expensive drivetrains and more complex drivetrains. So really they're going to be a lot more challenging to get into from an economic perspective. So when we kind of look at where do you go as a fleet manager in the future, knowing that there's uncertainty around regulation, there's uncertainty around commodity risk, how do you prepare yourself for that? And really, my recommendation is to make small investments where you can. So look very closely at EVs, because they are going to be very compelling in certain applications very quickly. But make a small investment. Go ahead and start getting the learnings so that you can benchmark off the future and be ready to go to scale when it does become a viable technology at scale. For the gases, really, unless you have a mandate, either a local government mandate or a sustainability mandate from your organization, wait until the technology matures and the infrastructure builds out, because there's no compelling reason right now with where commodity prices are to move forward. If you do have a mandate, again, go ahead, make a small investment so that you can gain the learning so that you're ready for the future no matter what it holds. Thank you.